Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Well, in the previous lectures, we were discussing about the circulatory system, right? We discussed that the different fluids that are circulating in our body. We discussed the blood, the lymph, and the tissue fluid. We also discussed the different components of the blood, that is blood plasma and the blood corpuscles, which consists of the RBCs, the WBCs, and blood platelets, right? So now moving forward in this chapter, we are now going to discuss about the structure of the human heart, right? Human heart is a four-chambered heart. Like in some animals, the heart is three-chambered or two-chambered, but in case of the human beings, the heart is four-chambered, right? And the heart is situated right in the center of your chest. The heart is situated right in the center of your chest, between the two lungs, just above the diaphragm. The heart is situated in the center of the chest, between the two lungs, and just above the diaphragm. The heart is slightly tilted towards the left side, right? Heart does not look like this, as most of you draw the structure of draw a heart like this. No, this is not the actual structure of the heart. The actual structure of the heart is somewhat like this. It has an apical notch, okay, and it is slightly tilted towards the left side. And because we feel that our heart is towards the left side. No, it's not towards the left side. It's in the center. But why do we feel that our heart is towards the left side? It is because this left ventricle, it does the pumping. It does the pumping process. It pumps blood throughout the body. So it pumps very strongly, and we feel this pump towards the left side. That's how we feel that our heart is towards the left side. But actually, it's not towards the left side. It is right in the center of your chest, between the two lungs and above the diaphragm. Because of the strong pumping action of the left ventricle, which is towards the left side, we feel that it is shifted left side. However, it's not towards the left side. It is right in the center of your chest. Understand? So this is the general structure, a rough diagram of the structure of the heart. It actually does not look like this. It's only 2D diagram. The actual size of a heart is the closed fist of your hand. Is the closed fist of your hand, right? And so there is a central wall. There is a central wall that is separating the two sides of the heart, and the central wall is called as the muscular septum, right? So the septum is separating the left side of the heart from the right side. So consider this side as the right side, and consider this side as the left side, right? The human heart is a four-chambered heart, as I told you earlier, right? And there is a septum dividing the two sides of the heart into the left and the right side. Also, there are atrioventricular septums. Atrioventricular septums. These are the atrioventricular septums. This one and this one. These atrioventricular septums are again further dividing each side into two chambers. So this is chamber number 1, chamber number 2, 3, and 4. The upper two chambers of the heart are called as auricles or atria, right? The upper two chambers of the heart are called as auricles or atria, and the lower two chambers of the heart are called as ventricles, right? So likewise, the auricle towards the right side is called as right auricle, which is designated here by RA, right auricle, and the auricle towards the left side is called as left auricle. Similarly, we have right ventricle to the right side and left ventricle to the left side. Understand? So this is the basic structure of the heart. There is a septum dividing the heart into two sides, right and left. Further, there are atrioventricular valves. These are the valves. right? They are dividing each side of the heart into further two chambers. So right now we have four chambers, one, two, three, and four. Okay, so there is a clear division of walls between the four chambers, right? And the upper two chambers are called as auricles, and the lower two chambers are called as ventricles. The auricles are separated from the ventricles by the atrioventricular valves, and the right and left side of the heart are separated by the septum. Now we shall discuss the blood vessels that are entering and leaving the heart. There are some blood vessels which are carrying the blood towards the heart, and there are some blood vessels which are carrying blood away from the heart. Right? The two blood vessels that are entering the right auricle are anterior vena cava and superior vena cava. This is anterior vena cava and this is superior vena cava. Anterior vena cava or anterior vena cava or inferior vena cava is collecting blood from the above parts of the body like head, brain, shoulders, arms, chest, right? So the anterior vena cava, sorry, this superior vena cava is collecting blood from the upper parts of the body. Superior means upper parts of the body. The superior vena cava is collecting blood from the upper parts of the body and releasing the blood into the right auricle. Releasing the blood into the right auricle. Similarly, we have anterior vena cava that is closing anterior vena cava or inferior vena cava is collecting blood from the lower body parts, that is legs, your core, intestines, right? So inferior vena cava is collecting blood from the lower body parts and releasing the blood into the right auricle. So right auricle is connected to vena cava. A vena cava are bringing blood from the body to the right auricle. For the job of the vena cava, whether it's inferior or superior vena cava, they're collecting the blood from the different parts of the body and releasing that blood into the right auricle. Right auricle. Understand? Now there is another blood vessel which leaves the right ventricle. This is right ventricle. So the blood leaves the right ventricle through the pulmonary artery. Through the pulmonary artery, blood leaves the right ventricle through the pulmonary artery, and pulmonary artery carries this blood to the lungs. Pulmonary artery carries the blood to the lungs. Let me repeat. We have blood vessels, two kinds of blood vessels. One which are entering the heart, means which are bringing blood to the heart. And number second, there are the blood vessels which are leaving the heart, means which are taking the blood away from the heart to the body, right? So the two blood vessels that are carrying blood to the heart are the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava, which release the deoxygenated blood into the right auricle. Understand? And then we have pulmonary artery, which is taking the blood away from the right ventricle to the lungs. Understand? And also we have aorta. Aorta is the main artery which carries the blood from the left ventricle to the different parts of the body, right? And we also have four pulmonary veins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four pulmonary veins, PV, pulmonary veins, which are carrying the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. Two from each lung. We have four pulmonary veins, two from each lung. These two are from one lung and these two are from another lung. We know we have a pair of lungs, right? So these four pulmonary veins are bringing in the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. Understand? And we have valves. Valves, I already told you, there are two valves. Right atrioventricular valve, it is three cuspid valve. Right atrioventricular valve, it is a three cuspid valve which separates the right auricle from the right ventricle. Similarly, we have a two cuspid valve called atrioventricular valve, left atrioventricular valve. This is right atrioventricular valve. This is left atrioventricular valve. It has two cuspids, so also called as two cuspid valve. It separates the left auricle from the left ventricle. What is the job of these valves? These valves are pocket-like. Pocket-like means when the blood fills the right ventricle, okay, and when the right ventricle pumps blood through the pulmonary artery to the lungs. So while the left ventricle pumps, there is a chance that this blood would flow back to the right auricle. But it does not happen so. Why? Because these are pocket-like, these pocket-like. So when the right ventricle contracts, these flaps are pushed upwards and they close the lid between the right auricle and the right ventricle. Similarly, when the left ventricle pumps, the pressure of the blood closes these valves of the left atrioventricular valve so that the blood cannot flow back from the ventricles to the auricles. Understand? Another kind of blood vessels present in the heart are coronary arteries. We have two coronary arteries that arise from the base of the aorta. Coronary arteries that arise from the base of the aorta. And these coronary arteries are supplying the oxygenated blood to the muscles of the heart. We know heart is a muscular organ, so it does require blood, right? So how is the blood supplied to the walls of the heart? It is supplied with the help of the coronary arteries. We have two coronary arteries that arise from the base of the aorta. Sometimes these arteries may be blocked. That results in a condition restricted flow of the blood to the muscles of the heart, the condition called as myocardial infarction, or commonly called as heart attack. So heart attack or myocardial infarction is because of the one way or the other way, the coronary arteries, they get blocked. So when the coronary arteries get blocked, the walls of the heart, the muscles of the heart do not receive the blood. That condition is called as heart attack or myocardial infarction. There is one more complication called as angina pectoris. A-N-G-I-N-A, angina, P-E-C-T-O-R-I-S. Angina pectoris is the chest pain which results because of angina pectoris is the chest pain which results because of the lack of blood or lack of oxygenated blood in the muscles of the heart. Understand? So this is the basic structure, basic diagram about the structure of the heart. We have four chambers. The upper two chambers are called as auricles, and the lower two chambers are called as ventricles. And the blood vessels which carry the blood from the body to the heart are vena cava, inferior vena cava, and superior vena cava, and also the four coronary arteries which bring the blood from the lungs to the left auricle. And then there are blood vessels which are leaving the heart, which are taking the blood away from the heart. That is pulmonary artery which is carrying the blood to the lungs, and we have the aorta which is carrying the blood to the different parts of the body. So this is a general description about the structure of the heart and the blood vessels that are entering and leaving the heart. Then we discuss the three cuspid valve, that is right atrioventricular valve and two cuspid valve, left atrioventricular valve, which prevents the backflow of blood from the ventricles to the auricles. The blood always flows from auricles to the ventricles. It never flows back from ventricles to the auricles. Why? Because these valves, the tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve, they are pocket-like. Okay, so when the ventricles contract, they are pocket-like like this. So when the ventricles contract, these valves are pushed upwards and they close the lid between the auricles and the ventricles so that the blood cannot flow back to the auricles. Understand? We shall discuss about the blood circulation or heartbeat. We have two kinds of blood circulation. Now, first is the pulmonary circulation, and number second is the systemic circulation. Let me rub this first. Suppose this is a pair of lungs. This does not look like lungs. Okay, let me draw a clear diagram so that you can understand. If I draw a diagram of lungs, how do the lungs look like? They look like this. Some way they look like this, right? Right. So there are two kinds of blood circulation. Number first is the pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation. And another kind of blood circulation is the systemic circulation. I will write systemic circulation here. Number two is the systemic circulation. The pulmonary circulation is the shortest one among the two. The pulmonary circulation is the shortest one among these two kinds of circulation. Now, first was the pulmonary circulation, and number second is the systemic circulation. What happens in the pulmonary circulation? This pulmonary artery, it starts from the right auricle. Right auricle receives the deoxygenated blood. I repeat, D for deoxygenated blood. This is inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. They are receiving the deoxygenated blood from the different parts of the body, right? And they release this blood into the right auricle. And when both the auricles, right auricle and the left auricle, when they contract, the blood is pushed to the right ventricle. Now, what happens in the right ventricle? When the right ventricle contracts, the blood is forced through the pulmonary artery. This is the deoxygenated blood. Always remember that the right side of your heart contains deoxygenated blood, while the left side of the heart contains oxygenated blood. This is oxygen rich and this is lacking the oxygen, right? So right side of the heart contains deoxygenated blood, while the left side contains the oxygenated blood. I will explain, right? So this right auricle, right ventricle, it contains the deoxygenated blood which it received from the right auricle, right? So when the right ventricle contracts, the blood is pushed through the pulmonary artery to the lungs. This is the deoxygenated blood which was pumped by the right ventricle and it goes to the lungs. What happens in the lungs? In the lungs, the gaseous exchange happens, right? Carbon dioxide present in the blood is released to the atmosphere, and oxygen from the atmosphere gets mixed with the blood. So now the oxygen-rich blood from each lung, right? So with the oxygenated blood from each lung goes to the left auricle, through the pulmonary veins. These are 4 pulmonary veins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me repeat. When the right ventricle contracted, the deoxygenated blood was pushed through the pulmonary artery and it goes to the lungs. And in the lungs, the gaseous exchange happens. The carbon dioxide is released back to the atmosphere, and oxygen from the atmosphere gets mixed again with the blood, which is brought. This oxygenated blood is brought to the left auricle by the 4 pulmonary veins, by the four pulmonary veins. And this is brought to the left auricle by the four pulmonary veins. And when this left auricle contracts, the blood again goes to the left ventricle now. So this completes one circuit, and this circulation is called as pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation means it involves the heart. How does this happen? Right ventricle contracted, it pushed the blood through the pulmonary artery to the lungs, okay, where the blood got oxygenated, and this oxygenated blood was brought to the left auricle by four pulmonary veins, and this completes one cycle known as the pulmonary circulation. Now, another circulation is the systemic circulation. This is the longer one. What happens when this left ventricle contracts? Left ventricle receives the oxygenated blood from the left auricle. How does this happen? As I told you that the oxygenated blood was brought to the left auricle by the four pulmonary veins. And when the left ventricle contracts, the blood goes to the left ventricle. Sorry, when the left auricle contracts, the blood goes to the left ventricle. And when the left ventricle contracts, the blood goes to the different parts of the body through the aorta. Through the aorta. And this through the aorta. And what happens in the different parts of the body? The oxygen is being consumed for respiration. And what is the end product of respiration? Carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide rich blood is brought back to the right auricle, with the help of the vena cava. That is inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. So this circuit of blood is called as the systemic circulation. Since we have two circuits of circulation in our body, one is pulmonary circulation and another is the systemic circulation. It's also called as double circulation. Why double circulation? Because two circulations exist. Number first is the pulmonary circulation and number second is the systemic circulation. Right? One interesting thing about the heart is that either both the auricles and the ventricles, the auricles contract and relax at the same time, and the ventricles contract and relax at the same time. Right? The contraction is called as the systole, while as the relaxation is called as the diastole. So similarly, when the two auricles contract, the two ventricles are relaxing, and when the two ventricles contract, the two auricles are relaxing. They alternate the relaxation and the contraction. Okay, so we have two kinds of systole. Systole means contraction. Two kinds of contractions we have. Two kinds of systole we have. We have auricular systole, we have ventricular systole. Means when both the auricles contract at the same time, that is auricular systole, and when both the ventricles contract at the same time, that's called as the ventricular systole. Okay, and when the auricles relax, that is called as diastole, and when both the ventricles relax, it's also called as the diastole. See what happens when this right auricle and left auricle, they receive blood. How do they receive blood? Left auricle receives blood from the different parts of the body by the vena cava. Left auricle receives blood from the lungs by the four pulmonary veins. So both the auricles receive blood at the same time, means they relax. How initially they were like this, and when they receive blood from the vena cava and from the pulmonary artery, they relax. That is called as the auricular diastole. Now, when the auricles contract, they contract at the same time. The blood is pushed through the aurioventricular valves to the right ventricle and left ventricle respectively. Okay. Now, when both the ventricles contract, the blood is pumped to the pulmonary artery and to the aorta respectively by the right ventricle and the left ventricle. Okay, and from the right ventricle the blood goes to the lungs, and from the left ventricle the oxygenated blood goes to the body. So there are two kinds of sounds that you will hear. One is the lub and other is the dup. Lub, dup. If you will use a stethoscope and keep it near your heart, you will hear two kinds of sounds, lub and dup. The lub sound occurs when the ventricles contract. When the ventricles contract, the valves of these tricuspid and bicuspid valve, they are pushed against the walls and this lid closes. That makes a sound which is called as lub. Right? So the lub sound you hear is because of the closure of the tricuspid and the bicuspid valves. That's the lub sound. And dup sound is made when the right ventricle is relaxed. When the right ventricle is relaxed, the blood initially pumped through these pulmonary arteries, right? So when the ventricle is relaxed, there are valves here in the pulmonary artery which are called as pulmonary semilunar valves, and similarly we have valves in the aorta which are called as aortic semilunar valves, right? So to prevent the backflow of the blood, these valves close. These valves get closed, and that makes a sound called as dup sound. So actually the lub and dup sound you hear is not because of the contraction or the relaxation of the auricles or ventricles. No, the lub and dup sound you hear is because of the closure of the valves, tricuspid and bicuspid valve. That makes the lub sound, and the dup sound you hear is because of the closure of the pulmonary semilunar valves and aortic semilunar valve. Understand? So that is the lub and dup sound. This is all about today's lecture, and whatever topics are remaining, I will try to complete them in the next lecture. So thank you for watching me.